Greetings, brethren, and welcome back to the How to Get Better at Chess series, where I, the Chess Crusader, will play against people online and explain my own thoughts and actions, what are good ideas, what are bad ideas. I'll explain my tactics, my openings. I'll try to explain what my opponent is thinking through the moves that they play, what I should be worried about, what I should be concerned about, and just general ideas on how to get better at chess. So, without further ado, let's start here with a game against somebody on chess.com. So, I like to play the ready. Knight to f3. I'm a big King's Indian opening kind of guy, so we'll do that over here. I like to fianchetto the bishop and castle right afterwards. Usually I'll delay the castling for a little bit by playing like pawn here, knight there. But we'll see what my opponent does. I mean, if they're thinking like, 15 seconds into a game, maybe that's not a great look for them, because usually they're like, okay, they should just play here or develop a knight or do something, but I don't see any movement right now. Okay, he just goes here right away. If he wants to trade, that's a totally fine trade by me. Okay, so we got he forcibly plays the Caro-Kann. Forcibly plays the Caro-Kann. Now, the idea is I want to be able to push this pawn later. So I might not want this queen being pinned to the knight, so I just like to make this square so I can try to get out and threaten this over here. It's a pretty good idea. This also works too, because if here takes, and then we just run. Or I might even take the trade, honestly, because they may be just trying to go for the queen trade, but I'll be up a pawn if they do that. So like here, take, and then take. And then I just do this, but I can just go and run over here. I wouldn't mind that, honestly, especially because he doesn't have any developed pieces at all. Like, he's just played this little umbrella type opening thing, and now his knights can only go to super weird squares. So if that's what he wants to do, I wouldn't even mind it all that much. He's thinking about it though. This much thinking on move 6 of a game is kind of suspect, but take all the time you need if you're making especially if somebody plays something you're not familiar with. But maybe he's not familiar with me playing this. I'm certainly not familiar with this. I don't know. GothamChess would usually be screaming at people who play like 1, 2, 3, 4 pawn moves right off the rip. 4 pawn moves, and he just brought his bishop out here, so it doesn't really do all that much. I'm kind of concerned about the amount of time this guy's taking. But, that's okay. What other ideas do we have? Well, I like to, I could probably want to castle my king, maybe even next move, just to make sure that we're safe. And then if we move this knight anywhere afterwards, castling the king here would prevent this scenario where we said before, where if it's okay, here, and then we can trade queens, I'll be up a pawn, but then, I can't castle. So he could call that an advantage for him, but I'm not entirely sure. But castling next turn for me would be able to kind of prevent all of that, and then I would just be up a pawn. But then he would just never play it in general, so yeah, I'm not entirely sure what my opponent's thinking, but he's taking his time. Where are you from? You're from Italy. Call 911 now. Crazy. Crazy. But yeah, by moving all these pawns like this, he's kind of made his king super weak. No matter what side he castles on, there's always, there's no pawn there. Okay, so this is just, after all of that thinking, this is kind of just a raw fork with this. Because I fork this and this pawn. And if he tries to, push or whatever, I can just take back. And then I just win the pawn. So I don't know what all that thinking was about. But, yeah, that's totally okay. This is a good fork, a gentleman's fork. Okay, so he does that, and I really want to, because defended by the queen, right? But I super want to get in there. Super want to get in there. So how can I influence a way in? Because, there's this check, right? Which he can just bring back his bishop for. Otherwise, he has to move his king. So I might just try to get the bishop I might just try to get the bishop out. Just see if the bishop goes somewhere. Just because this, then he has to block with like his knight, and that doesn't work. So that's my plan of attack right now, is this. He's trying to make everything super weak, so I'm just going to try to, counteract that. Basically, if he doesn't go back to any of these, like, if he goes over here to try and keep a pin on, okay, he doesn't. That's totally fine. Probably here. Because, yeah, for this, he can just block now, and now it doesn't really do anything. But see, his king is super weak. This is why you don't move pawns forward. Like, because I've got a whole bunch of development, and it's kind of crazy. Like, I can even go, like, here and threaten tons of things. Like, just move this, and then I threaten this pawn with, like, both the queen and the bishop. Like, it could even be sack-worthy, honestly. Just to get right into the kitchen. It's not really a good idea to just sack stuff a whole bunch right away, but I guess the queen. I always forget the queen can defend that too. So maybe we won't do that because the queen defends. Well, we can bring this pawn here. And then if he takes or if he pushes forward to kind of lock the situation down, then we can just move our knight somewhere and the rook dies. The rook dies because the knight has not moved yet. But yeah, super goofy position for my opponent. It's worth realizing where the weaknesses are. Like, the weaknesses are pretty much everywhere here. Like, see, there's this. So if we take, he's going to take back like this. Probably. Because otherwise, we'll just probably go here next. And then, like, pin the knights. And then maybe move this knight somewhere to put some pressure on. So, let's see. Theoretically, if we take here, like if we take here, he's either going to take back with the bishop or with the queen. If he takes back with the queen, then I'll just do trades. That's totally fine. And we always have ideas by moving this knight somewhere else. My king's not castled yet, but this is kind of too good of an opportunity for me to just kind of lead up on. So now we can go here. And then it's just pin city. So you can go here, but then we'll just go back. Okay, we can just remove the defense of this knight. This might have not been okay because he could have chased around my queen a little bit. Like, because then I could go back, but then if he pushes again, then I have to go back here. And it might have been a little scary, but now that we have this available, we can just remove the defense of this knight from this bishop. Because now the bishop can't defend the knight anymore. Just can't do it. See, and now we have this, in which we, well, do we? Because if he takes, yeah, then we have the bishop. So we can just go here with check. And if he blocks, then we just take the bishop. And if not, then we just run backwards. So that's pretty good. Yeah, definitely don't weaken your pieces, like your position in this right away by just bringing all of the pawns and stuff forward. The knights, sorry. What do I even want to do now? Because don't want to get my queen trapped per se. So maybe I'll just kind of try to push somewhere. Because how could he possibly threaten, like, the queen here? That's what you gotta think when you're going on attacks. How can he threaten the queen? Well, he can go here, threaten something, but he can't. He could try to bring the rook over manually, I suppose. But other than that, like, this knight can't go anywhere to attack anything. I guess the knight can go there. Okay, that's the threat, if the knight goes there. But then I can just go back with the queen and everything's okay. So I think I will just castle in this position. Because I don't see a way that they can threaten my queen here. Like, my queen can't go to any of these squares, but there's not really a way for them to threaten the queen that I can see. Maybe game review will prove me wrong, but we'll see. So yeah, this, and yeah, if he goes there, then we just go back and retreat. And then we can go to a multitude of squares this way. That is the idea. Maybe I'll even like just push this to try to force some movement opportunity. Could be an idea. Because yeah, we kind of want to move our pieces out a bit. So this could be an idea to try and yeah, this, so that if I can get back to this square, I can retreat, or just this right away. I think this right away works. Just to try and get my queen out of there. Because if he takes, if he takes, then I can just like go back here and we're safe. Or if he doesn't take and he just pushes forward, I can just take back here, and then my queen can just escape on this line instead. Yeah, I would definitely it could be a good idea to try and move the knight here, but then it doesn't really help my queen be in a sticky situation. So we're up 2 pieces here. This is really good. Up 2 pieces in basically 2 minutes, so it's pretty good. That is pretty good. We're only on move 16 and my opponent is getting kind of low on time. So you have to manage your time appropriately as well, of course, but okay. This knight move, I do not see the idea. Could be trying to prevent an escape, but if I do this, takes, then I just get safe, right? So we're just going to go here. And if he moves this bishop anywhere, then I just take the queen, right? So take the queen, and then I don't have to worry about keeping my queen safe anymore. That is the idea. That is the idea. So yeah, this knight move, it doesn't really accomplish much. He can't get his rooks anywhere in time, because if he gets his rook here, and I take, and then if he moves it down, then I just escape somewhere. So it's all good. So yeah, before you go on a big attack with your queen, make sure it's not trapped. My queen might have been able to get trapped there, but I didn't see a way for that to happen, and my opponent didn't either. Depending on your elo, this may be more or less impactful. Because if your opponent is 400, they're definitely not going to find it, right? They don't even think. They're just panicking because a queen is rampaging through their territory. Okay, it takes without hesitation. Might even consider pushing this pawn to threaten both something over here and this bishop sniping the rook in the corner as well. Just going from bad to worse for my opponent, unfortunately. Okay, pawn, but do I care? The thing is, do I just want to get out of there? Because this pawn, I don't see a way he can threaten really. It might just be go for the pawn. In other scenarios, I might go for the pawn, but I think in this situation, I'm just going to go and run. I'm just going to take, I'm plus 10, so we're just going to get out of there. I think this would have been fine to take, but I'm just not going to worry about it too much. Just going to be fine. And then I'll probably put my bishop on this line and go to town. Or put my knight here, because this is a good square, because it can't actually be attacked anymore. My position is just screaming good stuff, It's very good. So you have to be careful about stuff. He could try to line up his queen and bishop here and just go to town over here. Sorry, I guess I have to make the actual lines. He could try to put his queen on this right here and then try to get over here. So you can't get too confident. You can't get too confident in chess. You just can't. If you get off the pedal for 1 second, and then they can back rank mate you or something. So you got to be careful always. But yeah, so he takes back. We'll just go here. No hesitation at all. Moving quickly in positions where you're knowing you're doing well can be really stressful on your opponent because, well, look how much time he's got. He's got minute 31 seconds. I got 5 minutes basically. It's just no good. Next, maybe get the bishop here. He can push, but then if he wants to make his king even weaker than it already is with all of this, that's kind of insanity. I could even try lining up stuff over here with a discovered attack. And then threaten, I guess, the rook. That might be my next play. No, we should just play it safe. Just get pieces out. Because he's only got a minute left, and it's, +7 for me. So it's looking pretty good. It is looking pretty good, my friends. Yeah, what should he be thinking, though? He should be thinking, get his pieces out, because his pieces are doing nothing. This entire game, they've been doing absolutely nothing. Like, these rooks don't do anything. Like, the bishop, it doesn't do anything. Like, probably just go here. I don't know. You don't want to trade because you're down, but at least maybe you can go here, and then you can push this pawn to try and defend it. Then at least you have an anchor, because I can't actually threaten it with any pawns, except for, like, right here with this one, which might be worth going for. Yeah, he just goes there. I'll just develop this bishop all nice and sweet. He could think about trading here just to try and Hail Mary push this pawn to the end. That might be his idea, which is really funny. But, you know, he's got 16 seconds left, so he can see what he has. We'll go there, I guess. We'll go there. We'll play some nice defense. And with 10 seconds left, that's kind of it, you know. Kind of surprised there's no resign yet, but yeah, like, I mean, any other day we just take, but I guess I can threaten the pawn. This pawn was kind of like fake defended by because if he took this with the bishop, okay, can I move this? No, I can't. Anyway, if he took with the bishop there, the pawn with the bishop, and I took back with the rook, my knight wasn't really defended anymore, but that's okay. All right, so we'll go into a review now of the game. We'll see what it is. Okay, so I thought I played like 85% accuracy. That's pretty good. Said my opponent played 77.1% accuracy, which is kind of, you know, suspect, but yeah, it says they played like a 1400. I don't really think so, honestly. Keep it real. Might be bad on chess.com for that one, but 1750 for me. That's pretty cool. No great moves. It was just kind of a straightforward game, you know. We'll start here with the, you know, knight out, pawn out, fantastic, typical theory stuff. All this is good. Yeah, we're here. He brings out this pawn. Kind of a weakening move. Like, see, it says bring the knight over here. Like, why are you bringing this pawn out? What are you doing that for? And then, yeah, so I had, like, you know, apparently a 0.5 advantage. I squandered it by, you know, worrying about this pin. Whatever, 0.5 advantage at 1100, even 1800. 0.5 advantage isn't going to do much for you. So I do that. He takes the center. It says that's the best move. That's good. But, you know, now he's got this big scary dome. You know, it's not great. I think it's great because he can get his bishop out and then maybe bring both of his knights to the center and then castle. Like, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good to me, but my opponent just has no idea what really the plan is, you know. Like, he brings these pawns forward to kind of crash. That's fine, but he doesn't really do anything about it, you know. It says this loses a pawn. I'm not entirely sure how. I don't think I played it. But, yeah, I just threw it through a sack, I guess. I think I brought this up before during the game, like, because of, I think I brought this up. I don't think I played it because I was thinking like this, and if takes, then I have this, which wins me the rook in the corner, right? I think I talked about this, but then he played a move, and then I decided it wasn't viable anymore, but yeah, that would have been just like a brilliant move right there, for sure. Like 1000%. Anyway, he plays this. Says I gotta miss again. Says I gotta miss again. Apparently, yeah, because I missed the brilliant move. That's totally like you don't have to see this stuff. Like that's hard stuff to see, you know. So he brings his like his bishop back. Like it says it's a mistake, but it's still around equal. You know, it's totally fine. Yeah, best move. I go here, and yeah. Okay, it says it hurts my pawn structure. I'm not sure why this is a bad move, because now this bishop can't defend this anymore, right? Like, why does it think that this is a bad move? Oh, because it can threaten my queen first. I think I saw this from. I think I discussed this during the game. I was like, oh, like I didn't even think about him moving the bishop first, but yeah, just like the moving all of these pawns to threaten the queen first. That is the danger about bringing your queen out early. I thought his structure was just so bad it wasn't worth it. Like I just thought, hey, let's just go attack this guy. But yeah, of course he brings his bishop back, and then You know, I get this fork in there, my queen's all up in there, and yeah. So, like, I made a couple of not great moves, but even so, like, on my worst move, it was minus -0.9, right? So, we still played super solid. Everything was still fine. It only thought that this was a bad move because it hurts my pawn structure. You see there, it says it, like, it hurts my pawn structure. So, that's not that bad at the end of the day. Like, we still played super solidly. Taking pawns, puts his knight there, you know. Got all this stuff out, and then he just loses on time. Yeah, so that's like a 85% accuracy, 1750 game. Like, that's not bad at all. That's how you get better at chess, I suppose. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'll be uploading these pretty frequently. I enjoy doing these. If you guys like, you can help subscribe, help me grow the channel. I try to post pretty often. I try to make engaging content. I have a Discord as well. I have my link in my my YouTube bio, also on my TikTok bio. That's where I stream. I stream all the time. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one.